I'ma come a little different, but I tell them, free real, start federal. Hey, let's get it. Let go, let go, let go.
All right, man. Episode 10, bro. We took a few months off.
You
A little bit
know,
of a break.
a little bit, just a little bit. We
Hey, we back, though. That's all that matters, man.
That's it. That's it.
I just love it. We told the people, we were like, all right, every Monday they're coming out. We guarantee it.
It was a pump fake, guys. It was a pump fake. That's all it was. You know, y'all watch baseball, it's a bunt. You watch basketball, it's a pump fake. All of that. Yeah, it was a pump fake. But hey, it's not a new
man,
year.
we got to step into a new year. Christmas time now passed. First off, we just got to check in, bro. How you feeling? How was your Christmas break? Because we ain't even talked about that.
Yeah, no, we're good. I mean, shoot, we haven't really talked about it because we saw each other, guys. Davo and I are states away. And on December 22nd in Athens, Georgia, Stegman Coliseum, me and my boy got to see each other. Insert picture here. So, you know, that was great. We got to watch the Bulldogs play my Buccaneers. It was a solid game, to be honest. You know, they had a couple of stretches where they played like Georgia, and, you know, it's just different level at times. But, yeah, so I got to see my dog Davo in Athens. Christmas was good, bro. Got to see all the family members for a lot of days. Got to go watch some hoops with my dad, watch Christmas movies with mom, got to watch WWE with little brother. Just a wholesome little family trip. Get to see everybody. Get to see my goddaughter. She's 2.5, and they got a new one about to pop out in about 2 weeks. So it's just you know, the Chabo family is growing and thriving, brother.
Good, bro. Good. I mean, same for me, dude. Anytime we get a break in this industry and just get to rest for a little bit, I'll take it, man.
Right.
Yeah. Nah, seeing you at UGA, bro, going to that game, honestly, was a ton of fun.
Yeah.
Because I've been to one game, a UGA basketball game. Before that, I don't even remember who they played.
Right.
No, wait, hold up. The last time I was there, it was a high school game.
Oh, really?
But it was at Stegman.
Right. Was it like a private school, like state championship?
It was my high school, so BHS versus man, bro.
Just
I think it was Altoona. It was Altoona High.
Gotcha.
But no, it was dope to be back there, newly renovated. That junk was crazy.
No,
Charleston Southern put up a fight too, so I enjoyed watching the game. My family loved it too. Overall, bro, it was good. Saw the little bro, got to hang out with him. Got to freaking go through thousands of cards with my dad. Dude, we went in our garage, and I don't know if I've told you this. He has like 100,000 cards, probably more than that.
That's dope.
Avid collector, bro. I mean, I pulled a few Jordan cards that were like, they're pretty solid, a lot of worth cards. So that was dope. All in all, man, I can't complain. I was good too.
That's dope.
Yeah, bro.
I'm about to say, what you been watching, man? Any movies, TV shows, Johnson, anything?
Man, y'all go give it a follow. I started a new Instagram page, Davo's Letterboxd.
Yeah.
Dude, I was watching a lot of classic stuff.
Yeah.
White Christmas, Holiday Inn.
Yeah.
Just a lot of stuff from like the 40s and 50s.
Fine.
It was good. Honestly, I enjoyed it.
Right.
But some of them are buns, bro. And I wish I watched the classics, honestly, like Home Alone and
right.
Polar Express, all of those. But I really wanted to branch out and watch stuff I haven't seen before. Yeah, man. You know I stay watching the movies.
Every time, man. Every time. I'm probably gonna go watch one when we get off.
Shoot, bro. I just got a Roku from Walmart, so now I have a second TV in my room. So I'm gonna be on the game.
Fresh.
Netflix on the side.
Fresh.
We cooking, bro. We cooking. Shoot, man. Let's jump into some now. NIL. Just, I don't even know where to begin. I don't even know how to bring it up because it's everything in the sports world right now. But now, another, not just normal head coach, but big time head coach has stepped down.
Yeah.
And Jim Larinaga, leaving super early with Miami, 4-8.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you make? What are your initial thoughts of this? I know that this will probably branch out to a much larger conversation.
No, for sure. Well, first off, I mean, you know, like you said, Miami's currently 4-8. You know, one of those 8 is, you know, Charleston Southern Buccaneers. So shout out to my Bucks. We went down to Miami the day after Thanksgiving and got to play down in South Beach and Coral Gables and play against Jim Larinaga. And we got the best of them and we got a win over them. They were 3-3 at the time. So yeah, I mean, so first off, shout out to the Bucks for being a part of Larinaga's last season.
Yeah.
I mean, I think a guy like Jim Larinaga, he's obviously he's a legend. In the sense of he's been a good college basketball coach for a long, long time. I mean, he was in the Final Four 19 months ago. So Larinaga is a good coach. Obviously, as college basketball has shifted, specifically, I guess you would say in the past year and a half, his success has kind of shifted as well. And that can be contributed to, him getting older, and just whatever you want to contribute it to. He contributes it to NIL, and, he kind of being exhausted by this whole new process. And I can't blame him, especially, if you're a young coach and you're trying to grow in the game and make your mark on it, you can kind of jump in the race and, keep up with the times and yada, yada. But when you're a guy like Larinaga, I'm not saying that he would coach for 10 more years if NIL wasn't a thing, but you've coached for a long time and had a lot of success. When you've got this whole new wave of off the court stuff, that's what people got to understand about NIL. It's a lot of people think you get deals and based on court success. 90+% of this stuff is off the court, if not more.
Yep.
You kind of hear Larinaga tell a story at his press conference announcing his step down, saying, guys, we went to the Final Four, and a week later when I had a meeting with my team, 8 of them told me they're jumping in the portal. He was like, I asked them, do you not like it here? Like, what's wrong? Why do you want to leave? And all of them said, Coach, I love Miami. Like, I love playing for you, but I can just go get more money somewhere else. Which is kind of, I've always been a player first, leader and just opinion having person, especially in the sports world now. And I still like NIL. I still think it's a great tool. I would not take it away. I think it's, unethical to take it away, but it's been mismanaged, just kind of objectively, it's been mismanaged. It's been, it's a great idea kind of put in, I won't say the wrong hands, but just everybody's hands, and when stuff gets in everybody's hands, it gets messy. And so I think, Larinaga, you kind of see it in the college football side. I mean, obviously Nick Saban was having a little bit better of a, more on-field success than a Larinaga, but you've seen a lot of really legendary coaches take a step back at the same time that this NIL is stepping in.
True.
So I think, I think it's just part of the times, man. I think Larinaga won't be the last person to step down or, get out of the coaching race for that reason.
Yeah, no, I feel you. I mean, shoot, I've got a tie as well because I covered the George Mason JMU game. I did sidelines. They have a new head coach, Tony Skinn. He was the point guard for the George Mason squad that went to the Final Four.
Gotcha.
With Jim Larinaga as the head coach. And, I mean, he talked super high praises of him, of course.
Right.
But, man, you look at it, Tony Bennett, the exact same thing. And Tony Bennett is much younger. He's not the kind of guy that would even think about leaving because of his age, at least I'd imagine.
Right.
And he's a great coach. Same with Larinaga. It just sucks, man. It sucks to see truly talented coaches just flat out leaving. And they're giving it their best shot. It's not like they're just giving up easily.
Right.
They're trying to make it work.
Mm-hmm.
But clearly something is just not meshing well. They're not able to truly embrace NIL and run the program the way they want to.
I mean,
that sucks.
Right.
You look at a guy like Trey Townsend for Oakland. Obviously, Oakland in the tournament last year, super magical. But Coach Campa talked about him. This dude's looking for like $300K in the transfer portal right now. He played his 4 years at Oakland, and it's not that he's a bad guy, but he's looking for more money at another place.
Yep.
And that sucks for smaller schools. Like, obviously, I'm at JMU, you're at CSU.
Yeah.
You see it. You see the true hurt where we're at, quite frankly.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest. That's what it is.
Yeah.
JMU, Terrence Edwards, a baller last year.
Mm-hmm.
That team was great. Beat Wisconsin in the first round. What does Terrence Edwards do? He leaves.
Yep.
What does JMU have this season? Only one returning scholarship player. One.
Yeah.
Look, how,
Yeah.
how are you supposed to build any sort of culture
Right.
in that world?
That's what I think, like you talked about being upset that coaches are leaving. That part doesn't get to me as much as the inability to establish culture. Like you
Yeah.
said, that's a great point. I mean, it's just, you can't, I feel like if you're a coach like Larry Nager, these long-time successful coaches that have been able to build cultures at a specific institution or two or three based on how old they are, if you can't build a culture, I feel like that's a gigantic reason why you do what you do. And if you can't get the benefit of putting in all the hours, then why are you putting in all the hours?
I
Um,
meif
which kind of simplifies it to a too simple degree, but that's just kind of how I see it. If you
yeah.
can't establish culture, that's what makes college sports different than a professional level. It's culture
Yep.
and and tradition and spirit and pride and all of that good stuff. And so now that you've added all this money and price tags on everything, you're gonna start to see a little bit of that stuff disappear.
I'll say this. I'll say two things. I would honestly bet 100% of the coaches that I interview before every game I do, they tell me culture is the most important part of what they're trying to build. I mean, genuinely, I don't know that I could think of a coach I've talked to that has not mentioned culture in some capacity.
Yeah,
It's the most important part of a team.
yeah,
I mean, that's the whole definition of a team, essentially.
right,
Um, so yeah, you have to have that. I mean, there's no way around it. I will say on the bright side, because obviously there's so much negative, it feels like
right.
these younger coaches
Hmm.
that I've talked to, they're embracing
Yeah,
it. They're accepting it for what it is. And I'm not even being funny when I say this. I genuinely mean it. When I put together my spotting boards,
hmm,
you got height, you got weight, you got all their normal bio stuff that I'll fill in on my left hand side. I don't put their high school. I put their previous college
yep,
because that's what it is now.
yep,
Every player essentially has been at a previous college. I
yep,
don't need their high school. Well, I mean, I sometimes I need it, but my point is, you're seeing it so much now
right,
that it is the norm and then some.
absolutely,
And I have been glad to see the new. I don't know the best word to use for it, but kind of the new coaching core, if you will.
yeah,
They're stepping up and just saying, "Look, this is the world we live in,
right,
and we're going to do the best we can with what we're given."
absolutely. Yeah, I completely agree.
And that's all you can do.
Yeah,
That's all you can do, man.
but
I
shout
tell you
out,
what.
about to say shout out Coach Larinaga. I mean, it was close to 800 career wins. I mean, he coached for 50 plus years. He was a head coach for, I want to say this is his 41st head coaching season. I mean, like, that's one where obviously NIL may have expedited the process, but man, he was in that fire for a long, long time. So I mean, just
Yeah.
the sheer ability to coach at a decent level for that long. Shout out to Coach Larinaga.
Yeah, no, that is crazy. And man, shout out to Miami. Hopefully they can find somebody. And
Right.
I tell you what, this is not an ideal time to figure out what you're going to do with your head coaching position. But
All the
nah, man, Larry Naga's he's one of the goats for sure.
absolutely.
Tell you what, bro, a lot of parity on the college football side. I
Yeah.
know that we mentioned smaller schools being hurt by NIL. Bro, you got Boise State, Arizona State.
Yeah.
They're small relative to the big dogs like Alabama and Georgia.
Right.
Man, as things have shaped up, how you feeling? I mean, shoot, bro, I feel like it's wide open.
Yeah, I will say, yeah, as far as like national championship, predictions, I don't think there's a clear number one. Um, I will say though, as far as the way certain games have gone thus far into the playoff, which, obviously there's still a lot of games left. But I mean, I think SEC Texas over a pretty solid Clemson team.
Yeah.
I saw that coming. Notre Dame over Indiana. A lot of people saw that coming. Ohio State over Tennessee. I had some hope for the SEC player, but I figured Ohio State would hold that down. That happened. So I think it's nice, obviously. Boise State, Arizona State in the big dance. Even Indiana, quote unquote, whatever.
Yeah.
But I think when that ball gets snapped in those games, you're going to see the Goliaths play like Goliath. So
Yeah.
obviously, shout out to Boise State, Ashton Jeanty. Shout out Arizona State winning that kind of newly renovated Big 12 conference. But I think their roads will end shortly. But yeah, I mean, which college football, unlike a lot of other sports, the big dogs have been dominating for time. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I don't think college football has changed much as far as the kind of routine who wins the big games. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the rest of the playoff. Obviously, as a Georgia fan, Carson Beck's out for the year. I'm not gonna say Carson Beck's terrible. I'm not an idiot, but I also wouldn't, put money on Carson Beck to win a national championship.
Fair.
So obviously,
Yeah.
on paper, he looks more qualified than Gunnar Stockton. But Jake Fromm looked more qualified than Stetson Bennett, who's got a ring. It's kind of like so it's kind of Georgia. I mean, shoot, you've talked about it a million times. We've had a lot of screaming matches about the Georgia. But yes, I'm not mad at the Gunner option. Obviously, you saw him playing that SEC championship against Texas. That was anybody's ball game, and Gunner Stockton did his job and pulled out a W in the SEC championship. So I've got faith in that guy, and I think Oregon and Ohio State are probably the. I mean, obviously Texas is a good team, but I think Ohio State and Oregon are going to give Georgia the best shot, but we'll see what happens in the new year.
I think it's, bro, I really think it's going to be Ohio State, Georgia. I mean,
Yeah.
look at the Ohio State Oregon game in the regular season. Barely lost, and there was a lot of fluke plays. There was a lot of funky things going on. I say it every year with this team. Yes, for Ohio State fans, when you lose to Michigan and you lose on your home field, it hurts and you think that your team sucks, and a lot of the world has crapped on Ohio State since then. But you have to forget about that game because that game is so different. It's just different. Every year I've watched it. It's not the same Ohio State team I see play anybody else.
Yep.
No matter the circumstance, it's just different. So I think Ohio State is going to beat Oregon, and I don't even know that it'll be that close.
Wow.
I could see them winning by 2 touchdowns. I really could. Georgia's just a wild card, man.
Yeah.
I can't go against Kirby Smart.
Right.
He is arguably the best coach in the country. And I saw a meme of Gunnar Stockton, and he was in an old F-150, and somebody was like, "Oh, the backup QB in an F-150 dogs by a million." That story is written in heaven.
Yeah.
So I think Georgia will find a way.
Yep.
And it might just be a defensive kind of find a way. Maybe they don't score a lot of points. Maybe they don't need to.
Right.
But yeah, it's cool for Boise State. I like what you said, though. I think we love that they're in.
Yeah.
You're going to see really quickly the talent gap, the disparity that there is when the cleats touch the field. Yeah, bro. I like Ohio State, Georgia in the Natty, and I like Ohio State to win it. But
There you
Ryan Day, man, he scares me in every big game that
Yeah.
the Buckeyes play in. But I feel good. I'm excited for this playoff, and I do want to say one more thing. I dogged the 12-team idea, and I still don't love it.
Okay.
But I can't lie. I got really excited, even though the games weren't very good,
Right.
for when the playoff actually started. I was like, oh, man, forget all the crap I said earlier.
I
We
know.
got more college football.
Like I'm telling, I seriously hope. I wish it was a 16-team deal, man. I still would, and for this reason, I think 16 teams, dude, and you put all the conference champions in it, dude.
Yeah.
Like all 9, because you don't even have Pac-12 no more.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll have it come back, but put the 9 champions, 7 at large, because then obviously you're gonna have some more, blowout games, whatever. But like you talk about the excitement. We don't have competitive games in the 12-team format week 1.
We didn't have competitive games in the 4-team format, if we're being honest.
I mean, come on, bro. Everybody remember Georgia TCU? Y'all talking about y'all want to watch close games? That was the Natty 40 ball. Come on, So I'm just like, I think because like we're talking about NIL kind of hurting mid majors, and obviously a school like JMU or whatever is not always considered a mid major, but as that playing field begins to get uneven with a thing like NIL, giving a school like JMU or Georgia Southern or whatever you want to call it, like whatever school you can think of that's in a group of 5 stage, giving them a legitimate opportunity to make the college football playoff, that helps a playing field,
Yeah, it does.
So yeah, but
It does.
I've liked the expansion from the jump, but yeah, I mean we're getting a little taste of it right now. So, and who knows if the checks stay big, they're gonna keep expanding because that's what it comes down to.
Yeah, no, that's facts. I'm excited, bro. Shoot, I'm really ready for the NFL playoffs.
That's gonna be tight.
Mm.
Shout out to the Ravens. That's all I got to say about that. Chiefs.
Man, shout out to the Chiefs and Bills. We're gonna see another freaking
this year gonna be
game.
a banger. I think. Yeah, this year might be a banger with them two.
And you already know Mahomes is gonna find a way to win the game. I mean, it's gonna be the Bills. They look great for literally 59 minutes and 59 seconds.
Yeah.
And then Mahomes says, "Oh man, you gave me 1 second. You shouldn't have done that."
Thanks.
And they win the game. I mean, that's how I feel at this point about the Chiefs. But nah, bro, they're in a good place right now. They're in a really good place, except for whatever the heck's going on in LA with the Lakers. But
yeah, man, we'll talk about that in the next episode.
That's a teaser, man.
Deeper dive before we leave them though, Dave. But let's talk about what they can when they get done watching this episode. They can go hop on the TV and watch something else. So what shows you thinking about starting or in rotation? Any movies catching your eye? Just what you can go watch after this,
bro. And I mentioned this to you before we got on.
Mm-hmm.
I did not realize it, and I found this out. I guess it was 30 minutes ago or whenever before we started this recording.
Right.
That Squid Game season 2 is out on Netflix. I mean, I have not heard anything about it, which shocks me.
Yeah.
Everybody loved the show. I must be living under a rock, but I loved the first season. So
yeah,
I think that's a no doubter. I just hope they don't sell, man.
Right. I think that one for me personally, that may be a let Davo watch it and let me know if I should tune in.
That's fair.
I think the reason it's kind of not been a bright lights announcement is one because I think it's a busy time of year. I think there's just a lot of other stuff going on. But also, I mean, Squid Game, I thought season 1 was solid. I liked the show. I watched it, all that. But when you give somebody a taste that's so unique and so odd, like Squid Game season 1, and you make them wait 3-4 years for the next fight, it kind of loses. You forget how good the first one tasted. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so it's one of those where obviously they didn't drop that show knowing it would blow up like it did. But if it takes you that long to get the second bite, you may not be as hungry. You know what I'm saying? So I think. I
like that.
I just got done eating.
I like that, bro. That's an interesting way to think about it.
I mean, that's real. I mean, for example, Batman, something we talked about earlier today too. Batman movie number 1 came out in what, 2022?
Yeah.
So I'm saying, okay, so that comes out. They know that the new Batman is not going to be ready for years, so they give us the Penguin this year. You see what I'm saying? We get a show. It bridges the gap storyline and time-wise. Obviously, the Batman movie got announced today, Batman Part 2. It's postponed till 2027 instead of 26. But if everything would have gone according to plan theoretically, movie in 22, show in 24, movie in 26, and that's Batman. Batman could come out in 2098, and Joker's going to be there to watch it. We're talking about Squid Game. You know what I'm saying? Something completely new.
Fair. That's fair.
If you want the traction to be there, you gotta have that ammo ready. And obviously, like I said, they didn't expect it to be that big of a a piece of ammo. But I think that's just a reasoning why. The star that was Squid Game feels a little past tense.
Yeah. Bro, speaking of Batman, I know we talked about this like a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
There was some sort of tease about the potential of a Joker show. Have you heard anything about that? Is that like legit or?
I think I sent that. I may have seen that. I sent that to you. Yeah. I mean, I saw a tease about it. But part of me doesn't think it's gonna come to fruition. And then obviously when you see something like the whole Batman movie getting postponed a year, I'm not really thinking Joker's gonna have any development.
Not fair.
And part of me too, I kind of think that the public is a little tired of Joker. I will never get tired. You know what I'm saying? I know we are not that part. But I mean, I've read comments, I've seen reviews. You got the Joker movie with Joaquin Phoenix. Solid movie. Very cool.
First one.
Right. Second one comes out, super flop. What was the movie with Jared Leto played the Joker? What was the name of that one?
Was Jared Leto Suicide Squad?
Suicide Squad, yes. So you got Suicide Squad come out. There's a Joker in it. Pretty solid, but not legendary. You know, and then of course Batman #1, there was the whole like removed scene of Joker in the mental hospital, yada yada yada. So I feel like the public is thinking, hey, Gotham has a dozen dope villains. Can we stop beating the Joker horse? And I think, DC is not only listening to that, but also they've got a lot of new storytellers. They've got a lot of new directors, a lot of new writers. I think they want to introduce some completely not dead, but dormant characters, you know what I'm saying? And kind of bring them to light the way they want to. Because, I mean, we all know if they put Joker in Batman 2 or they do a Joker show, it could be really cool and done their own way. But everybody's going to look to Heath Ledger. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's gonna. There's so many other Jokers to compare it to. But if you bring something like they got that movie Clayface coming out in either 25 or 26, and no, I'll send it to you after this.
Yeah, send that to me.
It's so it's like a villain from like old Batman comics, whatever. Something goes wrong, like a dude's face like turns to clay, whatever. They're doing a whole movie about like the origin and that story of this Clayface villain. And it's not going to be like a villain movie. It's going to be just like an origin character. But I saw a report saying Clayface was going to be a villain in Batman 2. So it's kind of like, I think they're going to do a movie where they kind of throw the lob on introducing the character. And then boom, you're going to see him in that, that big time Batman.
Okay.
So, so I think with that new leadership over at DC, they want to, kind of bring some characters in their way. And they're not, and it be a fresh slate, because the character hasn't been introduced otherwise. So so I don't think the Joker show is going to come to fruition. Lord knows, I wish it would. But yeah, if I had to put bread on that, I don't think that one's coming to light.
Nah, no bread on that, bro. Shoot, that'll be dope, man. That'll be dope.
Yeah.
Hey, man, 10 down.
Wow.
Episode 10.
Wow,
took us a few months, bro, but we hammered it out.
It took us about a 6-month piece, not too bad. Yeah, sorry guys.
Man,
we making it sound like it ain't a big deal, man. We know we're back for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Davo and I, we talk on the phone probably 5+ times a week, man. So I'm about to say to me, I'm not on this thing. We first started, I'm like, we'll do the podcast so I can keep up with Davo. I'm gonna keep up with my dog regardless. Facts. But but we know that some of the things we talk about are entertaining and we like to get on here and and chop it up anyway. But we're putting our best foot forward to keep these rolling. I think we got a new format rolling with this one to kind of be more efficient and make it easy. But yeah, man, just keep tuning back in and I promise we'll keep popping up, man.
Yes, sir. Elbow room.
Christmas, everybody. Happy New Year. Call your mama and tell her you love her if you want to, baby. Holla!